Okay, let's constrain this part here. I'm gonna just put in a couple rectangles, one that represents the outside shape, and then one to represent this inside shape. And I'm gonna use the quick trim command to remove out the two lines, one for the small box and one for the big box. And we'll go right to auto constrain and see what happens. These two lines are your datums. Stack dimension it. So it didn't do it right because I want this dimension over here. So if you want to control this size and this size, the reason why you have to put this dimension in first is because it doesn't come from a datum. So when you're doing your notches, any dimension that doesn't come from the datum, stick that in there first. You'll notice that the 2 and the 3 come from the bottom line up from the datum A. Dimension 4-inch dimension and the 1-inch dimension here come from the left line, datum B. But this one comes from neither datum. Therefore, you have to stick it in first. So if I come back to this one and I hit undo, to get this to work, what you would do is go to constraint and put this constraint in here first. With that constraint in there, I should be able to go and highlight everything and then go to auto constrain, which is here. Reference this element, stack dimension it. Go right to auto constrain, or go right to these two lines here. Set those as your datums using the dialog box. It tells me it's fully constrained now. All I got to do is move these dimensions out to look right. Let's close this off. This dimension, on a drawing I wouldn't put that there, but I'm just going to leave it there for right now. Okay, so you see how it'll do it correctly. So you're going to be tested later on. I would like you to write down all the little tricks as you go through this auto constraint exercise. What is it you have to do to get auto constraints to work? For this example, you had to put in a constraint that does not come from the datum. Any constraints that don't come from the datum, you put that in there, because what auto constraint does is just do baseline dimensioning or feature based dimensions, meaning that it's just going to dimension everything from your datums A and B. And that's what it did, except for this one isn't coming from datum A and B. That's why I got to stick that in. So again, when you build this part, you should be able to create the two rectangles. I'm going to try and double click this, create the two rectangles. Go right to quick trim. Go right to analysis and verify it's a closed profile. Once it's closed, you know you can go to sketch. Close this off. We can highlight the profile. Oops. We can go to create the single sketch dimension constraint that's not coming from the datum. Only need to create the one, and then just let the computer do the rest of the work for you. So you do auto constrain, highlight this, reference your two datums, stack dimension it. That's baseline dimensioning. Use your control button. Grab your two lines for your datums. Use the dialog box, the second one. Turn off the horizontal, vertical, perpendicular, and set the fix, which is your datums. Move this dimension. I don't know why it's on that side. It drives me crazy, but normally I would put them on the same side. The extension line for some reason goes to the other side, so I'm just trying to make it look pretty by sliding it back out here. Slide this one down here. And this is your part complete. So that's what I'm looking for. I want you to build this part, make a Word doc, make a picture of it, and circle in red which one was the dimension you had to create. Okay, and make a note. The trick is to dimension anything not coming from the datum manually.